Welcome to the Academy of Combat Mixed Martial Arts. I'm your Chief Instructor, Dr. Jeff Aiken, and in this video we're going to give you the introductory material that we would teach in your introduction, so when you first come along, to each of the disciplines so that you can review it in your own time. In addition, I'm going to give you a little bit extra as well. Now make sure following your introductory lesson that you go through the material as quickly as possible to just review it in your mind. And when you come back into class, you'll be given new things just to add to that, but these things here form the absolute basis of each of the disciplines that you'll be learning. So first we're going to get started with the weaponry combat system. We'll start with sticks. Stick fighting. This is one of the main parts of our weaponry combat system. What I'm going to illustrate here is your first 5 strikes with the posture, the footwork, and how to move and stand. Now, first and foremost, let's look at our posture. Now, you'll note here that I have my stick side forward. So being right-handed, here I have my right foot forward. This foot is pointing straight ahead. My rear foot is just a nice comfortable walking distance apart from the other one, but shoulder width, and generally facing out 45 degrees. And I bring the weight onto the balls of the feet. That doesn't mean to say I lift up here like this. That just means I bring the weight to the ball of the feet and bend my knees. So I'm in a sort of a half crouch to here. Now tuck the chin in and have the stick here just sitting on your shoulder. Your left hand is going to be sitting high here around the chest. Now this will vary and move, but keep it close in and high behind our chest. It's what we call our live hand. This is going to do things like grabbing so that we can go for disarms. Looking at it from the side now. So we have it again. Here is this walking distance apart. So bent knees, rocking the weight to the balls of the feet, tucking the chin a little here like this, and right the stick on the shoulder here with my hand in its position, my left hand in the position here. Now the basic footwork that you've got to get down in your stick fighting is our triangular footwork. Here, the one that you'll see the most is, when you first start out, will be our reverse triangle. Note here how your right foot here would form the base at the side of a triangle here with my rear left foot at the apex. So we've got the triangle sitting out in front of us like this, apex to our left foot, one of the base points at our right. To move to the other side, all we simply do is we move our right foot back to the point where the left is, or the apex, and then step off with our left foot along the other side of the triangle to where that other base point would be there. To go back, of course, it's just a reverse. The left comes back to the apex, the right goes out to the base point. So you see here we're just simply moving across from side to side, controlling our weight on the balls of the feet, and this is our basic footwork. That's one of the first pieces of footwork you'll learn, and one of the ones you'll use the most when you're practicing your striking angles. How to hold the stick. Now there's several schools of thought here at holding the stick. What we favour here at the Academy here is leaving about 1 inch of the point, what we call the punyo, which is the bottom of the stick here, which we can strike with, just at the bottom, out through the fist. See, so we take it in a pistol grip, so the fingers, thumb on top, and then just sort of shake it a bit, like that, so it's slightly angled in the wrist here, as opposed to a straight hammer grip like that, which isn't quite as tight. Lock your thumb in tight grip here like this and allow that 1 inch down here. This gives you a good tight grip, one that you can, remember the stick is part of you, okay? That's what you've got to remember with this here, okay? Now, let's look at our angle here. First angle, what do we call our number 1, comes from the right side, cuts out across and goes back to the left shoulder. See, so it's just striking out and back, bringing it out in an arc and hooking it back. It's more of an elliptical arc that strikes out so that we're generating our force around about sort of 30 degrees to our front, about here through to here. So maximising our force through there. Okay. Off to the left shoulder. To go to the other side now, what we want to do is now we bring our footwork into play, bring our right foot back along to our left, shift our left out and strike out there from our left to our right with our number 2 strike. So once again, there's our 1 strike here to the shoulder, switch across, 2 coming out here from left to right and back to the shoulder. We can put those 2 together now. You see here where I switch back, we have our 1 and we have our 2. Now 3, which will later become a different number when you learn the whole 12 angles that we used. In the early stages, you just learn the first 5. Here we switch back so our right leg is forward and we cut up in a diagonal motion here. Diagonally up from your right to your left, off to the left shoulder again. And then for number 4, we're going to switch along that line again and bring our left foot front, and we're going to bring it up from your left lower position to the high right shoulder. So again, you could tie these 2 together. Here's your 3 on that side and your 4 on that side. So 3 there, 4 there. And then finally we're going to look at our number 5, where we bring the stick down here. This is a thrusting strike to the midsection. Now note when I do this, the arm is sideways out here, horizontal. It's not a pull cue thing, okay? It's here. And because of the nature of how our grip is holding here, this tends to pop the stick up, so we just pop it down here with our left hand. And what we do is we step forward and thrust into the midsection with number 5. Okay. So again, you've got from this position here, you're going to take it down, so your forearm is horizontal, and thrust straight into the midsection. So putting all those together now, starting with our right foot forward, we go 1 angle here, diagonally down right to left, switch across to our left side, number 2, going down from our left to our right, switch back to our right side, cut 3 upwards from right to left, and then back to our left, sweeping up left to right. We now cut it down to the centre, horizontal, and step forward, thrust for our number 5. And that completes your first 5 angles that you would get in your stick fighting, complete with footwork and how to hold the stick. Let's now look at our sword postures. Use of the Japanese sword or katana. During training, when you first start with us, most of your training will be done with the wakan or wooden sword. I'm going to demonstrate this here with the live blade so that you get the effect of just why and what we'll be doing. So we'll start with the draw. Now here, of course, you'll be doing this with a wakan, so you'll just be replicating what I'm doing here from the scalp. So from the position, we'll step forward with our right leg. Here you'll note that my thumb is just supporting the tsuba here. And as I step forward to take to make the draw, that thumb is just going to reverse, so it just hooks the sword out of just that bit of tightness in the scabbard, which secures the sword back, so it's slightly tight there. This stops the sword from dropping out if I happen to lean forward. Now, you need to release that though. So my thumb there just switches, so I just switch it out there, now she's ready to draw. Now of course, when you are finished and reach it, you'll do the same. You'll pull it back in just to get that locking in. Okay, see that lock there. Now, with your block, and you don't have to worry about this, but I mean, I think that what you should do is at least go through the process so you get used to it later on with the live blade. Now, so we'll start in this position here. Make sure that your scabbard is reasonably loose inside the bands of your hakama. so that it can move in and out. Take a step forward, up and over, and down. Now, notice I did that, so you'll be doing this with blocking, but as I do this here, the scabbard is being drawn back from the sword. As the sword is brought down to the centre, the scabbard is brought back to the centre here. Now we take our left hand and grip the sword at the end of the hilt. Now, if you have a look here, I'd like to make you note here where the actual hands are. Now, note my right hand here is gripping it. In fact, both hands are gripping it as if I'm wringing out a towel. And there's at least one finger width in between there and the two. See, just one finger width, that's what I want. I don't want it right up against here, otherwise it cramps in against the sword, stops it moving as well, and also tends to wreck my hands. The left hand sits right down the end, so the last two fingers there are right at the end of the hilt here. They're your main gripping fingers, incidentally. And again, you're wringing a towel here. Now you have those two there, one right down the end, one finger width away from the tsuba. Now, to the front, we want to have it out, but not right out. We don't want to extend it like this. That's overextended. And we don't want it sitting in here. We want it comfortably out from the body so that the upper arm of the left hand, the left arm here, is just resting against the rib cage. And the right hand is extended. Now, if there was another person in front of me, if we looked along the line of this blade, it would be, if we extrapolated that particular line, it would go right up to the eyes of the opponent, straight into the eyes of the opponent. So this is how, so this way, it doesn't look like that, like that. It's nice and comfortably in this position here, so that the line would extend towards the eyes. This is our middle position, Judo. From there, we're going to go through each of our main postures. So the first posture here we want to look at is our upper posture. Now, this here is being done without the step back. So we start here with an upper posture here. Now, again, what I'd like you to know, no more than 45 degrees back from the head during the posture. When we're cutting, we might do that. For the actual posture itself, no more than 45, often 60. Above the head. And above the eyes, you can see it underneath. Now, the second posture is we'll step back from that. Now, when you step back, bring your right foot back so that the toe is lined up with the heel of the foot of the front leg. The front foot is pointing forward. This is our upper position. Now from here, we're going to come down into second upper position, often used in defense or for thrusting underneath the arm. Here you'll note what I've done is I've brought the sword from this position, and I've brought it back, so the blade is facing up here like this, diagonally across from shoulder to shoulder, above the head. From here we bring it down into our shouldered position here. Again, in more formal systems we see it done up on the side here, but in a more fighting, realistic position, it was often just held off the shoulder. Don't rest it on the shoulder. That's going to put you into a relaxation state. Hold it off the shoulder. From there out to the side, in this diagonally directed position here, which can affect all sorts of sweeping cuts. Notice the angle of the blade is around about 45 degrees out, and the body there. Down to our lower position at the side. Again, you'll see rear foot pointing forward. The front foot pointing forward, the rear foot is out at about 45 degrees. and the sword is sweeping in from the back. So, the side on this side too, sweeping in the back here. Looking to cut up, kiriagi type fashion. And then finally we come back to the front, to the lowered position in the front. Again, notice it's not straight ahead in front, it's angled across the body. So it's a good natural feel to this. Again, if we look at that from the side, we have this natural feel, lowered position. And from there we can bring it back up to where we started in our central position. And those are the first 8 postures that you work with in the sword system that we do and teach here at the Academy. So, first of all, good position, high position, high to rear position, forward thrusting position, shoulder position, off the side, lower to the side, lower position to the front, and back to the centre. And reaching. Now we'll have a look at a bit of the street form of the empty hand that we also teach in the weaponry combat system. You're taught a lot of striking there, taken from Muay Thai and from a screamer and artist. Just good, street, effective striking and putting the guy down as well. In it you also get Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, your MMA, the whole thing is tied in here. We're taking the essential core aspects of these disciplines so that when it comes to looking after yourself out there in the street, you'll have a very, very effective methodology available to you. So just bring Grant on just to show you that. We're just going to, usually what we do at first, we just show you how to deal with a swing. So someone takes a swing at you with a big right hand. It's typically what we see out there. We're just going to lay over it. We've got to produce a fence position here to say, hey, listen, back off, pal. And as soon as he launches, we just lay straight over his arm. That's all you've got to do here. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's just extend the arm and lay over it. So when he throws it here to here. Now, you'll notice I do this. This right arm also came up. Now, I could use this just to cover and move in with elbows, etc. But I'm going to strike straight up into the nose here with a palm heel. So straight up in the nose here with a palm heel. You want to smash the nose here with that palm heel. It can come under the jaw. It really doesn't matter. This I could also gouge his eyes. Once again, we look at it from the other angle. He just throws a strike. I've got a fence here like this, you see, I'm just blocking. What we call a fence is keeping that distance. Distance is the most important aspect in any fight, guys. So ensure that you maintain this distance so he has to take a step forward to hit me. Because if he's close enough just to stand his hand, there's no way I'm going to be able to stop it. So you keep this distance here. This is where we set what we call our fence. Our basic posture is just back off, pal, back off. As soon as he throws his hook, we're straight over the top here like that, just to defend against that shot. The palm heel's going straight in at the same time. Okay. Again here, it's all happening together. Just in it goes, see, like that. Okay. Straight up in the face, it goes back from here. From here, we're going to hook around the back of the head, both hands. So here we just simply come from here, up to there, round the back of the head, pull them round, and start knee in it. Necessary, smash him into the head here with a forearm or the back of the fist. So from the other side, that's all it is. Simply cover, smash the face, around, start smashing your knees until he drops, and put him down. You can give him a kicking when he's down, and that's fine too. So a very simple technique, very easy to learn, and it will deal with a lot of situations where someone takes a swing at you. There's a lot of different permutations we teach with this sort of thing. Just one very quick one. This is what we call our mawashi. Is that in this case, generally against a straight, we would use this. He throws a straight right, There's the move here. So all we're simply doing is just parrying this away here, just pushing it simply away with the left hand. Here, the right comes up underneath, rolls out underneath against the upper arm, pushes this arm, and now once again we're ready to smash him. Pretty much with anything we like. The other side. Okay, the straight comes out, up over the top, down it goes, in we go. One might ask, well, is it any good against a swing? Well, of course it is. If he throws a swing here, we just do it that way. Here, and there's the strike again. So again, there.